First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahbashah, Bahashem, Barakwadash. Alright, so we're going to go into another lesson. Alright, and this is going to go over ALEISTER CROWLEY. Alright, and I pretty much went over this a little while ago. I don't know how many videos ago, but we went over this. I went over this a little while ago. Okay, on who this guy is. Alright, and he's a devil worshiper. You know, he worships Satan. Alright, and his vibration is covering the whole world. Alright, the whole world is under this man's vibration, ALEISTER CROWLEY. Alright, the famous quote, "Do as thou wilt." Alright, that's the whole motto of this guy. Alright, and we're also going to go into, this word, alright, counterfeit. Alright, and the people of the earth live counterfeit lifestyles. Okay, they confuse this American life, alright, as life itself, as a lifestyle that's that as an example of what a lifestyle is supposed to be. Okay, but that's not the case. Alright, this lifestyle that you look at as life is really a death style. Okay, and that's why I got this word counterfeit up. Alright, so it says made an exact imitation of something valuable. Alright, and that also is scriptural. Okay, the scriptures talk about that this wisdom and knowledge and understanding is a treasure. Okay, that's what it's likened unto, a treasure. All right, the true treasure and riches is the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures. Okay, and the value, so-called values in this life, or these lifestyles, committing wickedness. All right, whoring yourself out. All right, selling out, worshiping Satan. Okay, killing, murdering, robbing, and things like that is looked at as valuable, in this society. Okay, so let's read it again. Made an exact imitation of something valuable or important with the intention to deceive. All right, and that's what the majority of people on this earth are. They're deceived. Okay, the only ones that's not deceived is the elect. Okay, it says or what? Defraud. All right, so we're gonna go back. All right, to this article. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a summary of who this guy is. All right. So it says his influence is huge. It says it turns out all those nutty Christian evangelists who warned that rock and roll is demonic were right. All right, and it says the wafer of pop music is soaked in the occult. It says particularly in ALEISTER CROWLEY's highly egotistical version of it. All right, so let's go down here. Let me see. Yeah, you see a picture of him right here, Beatles. All right. It says Crowley appears on the cover of the Beatles. All right. It says Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band. It says John Lennon once said the whole Beatles thing was do what you want, Okay, which goes back to what? Do as thou wilt. It says a statue of him appears also on the cover of the Doors album, Doors 13. All right. The Doors admired Crowley's as someone who'd broken through to the other side and who was a master of anarchic showmanship. It says Jim Morrison once said in very Crowleyite words, "I'm interested in anything about revolt, disorder, okay, chaos, especially activity that appears to have no meaning." And that's what the whole American society is wrapped up in. Things that have no meaning, okay? Things that don't matter, all right? The materialistic things in life, all right? That everybody's chasing the bag, this dollar, all right? These foolish lifestyles that you live, homosexuality, all right, was pushed by this guy, ALEISTER CROWLEY, all right? Do what thou wilt. You see that? All right? Rolling Stones and Moraine Faithful were into Crowleyan magic through filmmaker Kenneth Anger. All right, and I think he's a big part of it too. He worships ALEISTER CROWLEY. It says hence their album is His Satanic Majesties and their song Sympathy for the Devil. Jagger also made the soundtrack to Anger's film Invocation to My Demon Brother. All right, so let's look at this. All right, you see right here. You see this hand sign right here? Okay. And look at this. Okay, and now I just looked at this and I was like, Black Panther. right here. You see that? All right, they're all in it. All your industries are under this vibration, under satanic, worshiping Satan. All right, pushing a satanic vibration out to you people, man, and you don't know it. Okay, and the reason why is because what, you don't have the eyes to see or the ears to hear. All right, these things flow over your head, man. Okay, and we're gonna get it. It's, Matthew chapter 13, and we'll start at verse 13. It says, therefore, all right, this is talking about Yahushua. All right, so it says, therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. Okay, and this is the problem. All right, damn near the whole world, except for the elect, okay, can't see what's in front of their eyes. All right, they see the surface level things. All right, but they can't see the spiritual aspect of it. Okay, so they have movies like this that come out and they don't know what this guy's actually doing. All right, that's the pose that ALEISTER CROWLEY did. Okay, ALEISTER CROWLEY. All right, damn devil worshiper. Okay, you know, a prophet on the left hand side. Okay, to push that demonic vibration on the world. Okay, so let's read a little bit of this. It says, David Bowie was also a big fan of Crowley. He mentions him in the song Quicksand and was influenced by Crowley's magic techniques, symbolism, and Superman philosophy. Okay, and I already told you, all right, the brothers know this, okay, that Esau Edom wants to be God, literally. Okay, that's not a joke. Okay, Superman philosophy. All right, being gods of the earth, which is gonna say, it says Bowie was deep into the occult in the 1970s, particularly during the making of Station to Station, when he feared he'd invoke an evil demon and that witches were trying to steal his semen to make a satanic love child. And that's true. All right, these women out here, okay, a lot of them are witches. Okay, and you sleep with them women. All right, you start getting all kinds of spirits and demons on you, dealing with certain women like that. Okay, so yeah, you gotta watch out here, man, who you deal with. That's another lesson for another day. Okay, 1980s, you know, it says, of course, various metal bands were explicitly into Crowley, from Black Sabbath to Iron Maiden. More recently, or more surprisingly, Crowley's ideas are apparently an influence on rap stars like Jay-Z, Kanye West. It says, and an ardent practitioner of sex magic. Okay, and sex magic is real. Okay, and they believe that when you climax during sex, all right, you enter the spiritual world briefly, or get a spiritual message briefly, and they believe that. Okay, Sierra. All right, see the shirt he wearing, do what thou wilt. Okay, got Jay-Z here. All right, you got the hermetic order of the Golden Dawn, which is what the New World Order. All right, that's what this is going into. All right, it says more broadly as well as we'll examine a pop culture help to make Crowley's philosophy of unfettered egotism. All right, and unfettered means what? Unchained, unbound. All right, so-called free, right? To do what you want. Egotism, do what thou wilt. The ruling philosophy of Western society. We are all Crowley's children, and that's exactly what you are. Okay, because you're not following the scriptures, man. All right, you listening to this devil, man, the so-called white man, Esau Edom. All right, so you his children. Say you belong to him, Satan, because every day you wake up, all right, you out there committing adultery, smoking weed, popping drugs and stuff like that. All right, all that comes from him. All right, so let's read on, man. All right, we're gonna get to the point here. All right, so let's read this. It says he claimed to have achieved top-level magus status by 1904 when he says he made contact with a demigod called Iwas in Egypt. All right, it says in the Great Pyramid of Giza. It says, to be precise, who dictated a book to him called the Book of the Law. All right, and what's the scriptures? The scriptures is the book of the law. Okay, all right, the Bible, that's the book of the law. All right, because what, it has laws in there that you should follow. All right, but the majority of you people are not following it. All right, but you following the book of the law. What, you following the law here? Okay, under him. All right, and you don't even know it. All right, and then what you had Lave. Let me see, Lave. There it is, Lave. Lave. Okay, and he written what you call the Satanic Bible. And the only difference is when you read that book, is instead of God, it's Satan. That's all it is. Okay, I looked at it. All right, let me show you who Lave is. All right, another white man, so-called white man. You see that? Lave. And you celebrate Halloween. All right, which is a satanic, demonic day. Are you worshiping Satan? You see what I mean? Esau, Edom is the devil. These so-called white people are the devil that the Bible speaks of. Esau, Edom is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. Okay, this is Lave. All right, they created the Satanic Bible, what you call, yeah, you know, Anton Sander Lave, Satanic Ritual. All right, and then you got Crowley. All right, so let's read the rest of this. It says, I was an emissary of the Egyptian bird called God Horus. All right, and he came to Crowley to declare a new age. All right, it says the aeon of the crowned and conquering child. This new aeon would be, writes Lockman, a time of unconstrained personal freedom. All right, it says in which a handful of supermen, all right, which is the elect on their side, on the left-hand side, all right, these devils, man, it says would perfect their wills and become gods. And that's what the New World Order is about. All right, them being gods. And let's read on. What else it say? Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. For the supermen, they will delight in wines and strange drugs, which shall not harm ye at all, as well as every kind of sexual excess. Meanwhile, the rest of humanity, the slaves, shall be made to serve the supermen. You see that? So that's the New World Order. All right, from the movie Equilibrium. All right, the New World Order. That New World Order set up, and everybody was what? Slaves, man. All right, if they didn't bow down, what did they do? Kill them. And they were looked at as gods. That's what the New World Order is about. Okay, conquering all of humanity as slaves. Okay, and them being looked at as God. All right, that's how psychotic, all right, Esau Edom is, man, a so-called white man. And that's what he's fixing to do. All right, through AI technology, through that MOTB. All right, yeah, through this device right here, the human implant. Okay, this is what they want to do. They want to put this in you. All right, and if you accept this, then that means that you're what? You're Satan's. You belong to Satan. That's what that is. You belong to Satan. That's what this is all about. Okay, that shows that you what? You belong to him. You're under his order. You're under his servitude. All right, you basically let him tag you. All right, like an animal. He owns you. That's what that is. Okay. But there's a spiritual mark. What's the spiritual mark? Let's read it. All right, let's get this. This is Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 6. All right, we'll start at verse 4. It says, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And who's sighing and crying? The ones that sighing and crying, man. All right, so let's read it again. It says, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite, which means to what? Kill. All right, it says, let not your eye spare, neither have ye pity. Okay, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. It says, but come not near any man whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began and at the ancient men which were before the house. Okay, and that's what's coming. judgment day, all right, where the Lord is going to send his angels, all right, and the Lord's going to come back too, all right, and they're going to slay utterly old, young, maids, and little children and women, okay? They don't care about your status. They don't care about who you are in the earth, your gender. All that's going out the window. If you're not right, all right, you're going to get slain. You're going to die, okay? All right, so that's the mark, which is what? Spiritual, okay? Which is what? The knowledge, the Holy Spirit, okay? And then what? You sigh and cry. You do the videos, you do the work, right? Okay? And then what? Let's go back. Back to that damn device. All right, and this is Satan's mark. Esau, Edom, the devil that the Bible speaks of. This is his mark, and he's getting ready to implant this in all of humanity. Okay, and he gonna sit up there and try to say, oh well, this is safer. Oh well, this would be more secure. You know, you don't have to have a wallet. You don't have to have paperwork. You don't have to take out cash or anything like that. All of that and your medical information, who you are, your money, digital currency is all going to be on this device. Okay? And they're going to deceive you by trying to tell you that it is better this way. Okay? So you don't have to pull out wallets and paperwork and things like that. All right? So this is his mark. All right? And you're not supposed to take it. Okay? So let's go back. So like I said, meanwhile, the rest of humanity, the slaves, shall be made to serve the supermen. It says compassion is the vice of kings. You see that? Compassion. All right, let's look up the word compassion. It says sympathetic pity and concern for the suffering or misfortune of others. What did the scripture say in Ecclesiastes? It's like it's Ecclesiasticus. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And Esau, Edom is our enemies. Okay? You can't trust these people. All right? It says, though he humbled himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. Thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. Well, you know, you have a looking glass, you know, like a empty glass, and it's foggy. It's fogged up, and what do? You take something, a paper towel or a hand cloth, you wipe it, and then what? What does it say? It says, and thou shalt know that his rust have not altogether wiped away. All right, you see that? Which goes to show that he's still that wicked devil, all right, that enslaved, murdered, raped, robbed, and murdered you, all right, from the beginning. He hasn't changed, okay? And this is mainly the elites. But the elites, they know who they are, and they know who we are, okay? And they're hell-bent on destroying you, all right, as a nation, okay? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, all right? So it says, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. Which what? He means he steals everything. All right? From the music industry, everything that you created. All right? Our people are very creative. Guess what? They're going to put a damn devil up on Front Street as if he created it. Like everybody still believes that Thomas Edison created the first light bulb when it was a Jake that did that. You see? And that's a prime example. Okay, so what he comes with peace, you know? This guy, these people, they come with peace. All right, compassion, sympathetic, pity. All right, and that's how he charms you. He's the serpent. Okay? Sympathetic, pity, and concern for suffering or misfortune of others, which that's not his spirit. Okay? That's not who he is. That's not who he is. All right, so this is it right here. Daniel chapter 8 and verse 25. Actually, let's go with verse 24. It says, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. Exactly. So Esau, Edom, he's in rulership right now. These so-called white people, they're in rulership, but it's not by their own power. The Lord got them in that position. All right, only for a certain period of time. He's going to be getting ready to take them out of power. All right, it says, and he shall destroy wonderfully. All right, mentally, physically, spiritually, in every way. And it says, and shall prosper and practice and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. Who are the holy people? The Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It says, and through his policy also he shall cause craft, all right, which is what? A device, a secretive device. He's coming with a trap, all right, like Sexy Red, trap. All right, he was set up by Esau Edom. Okay, all your so-called celebrities that you look up to, all right, they were all set up under him. All right, and that's his craft. He's very crafty, just like in the book of Genesis, serpent and Eve. Okay, crafty. All right, it says to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, which is what? He's very proud. Call themselves the Proud Boys. All right, proud to be an American, very proud nation. It says, and by peace shall destroy many. Peace. You see that? That's the point. Peace, compassion. All right, then what? You go, where was it? Yeah, by peace shall he destroy many. So you got peace, compassion, and that's it. All right, so it links up. You see? It links up. It links up. It says, and shall destroy many. He also shall stand up against the prince of princes. Who's the ultimate prince? Yahushua, who you yearly call Jesus Christ. He's going to try to fight the Lord when he comes back. All right, when World War III kick off, all right, when they down there fighting each other, all them nations going to stop and they're going to try to fight the Lord, which is what in those chariots, the so-called UFOs, because that's where he's going to appear when they're fighting during World War III. That's when the Lord's going to come back and he's going to destroy all of them. And then said what? But he shall be broken without hand. All right, he's going to lose. And you see that? Simple as that. All right. And it says, is the vice of kings, I was told Crowley. So this is true. This is real. All right. That was Satan, man. You know, Satan came to Crowley and he told him exactly how to deceive the world, man. Okay. Through compassion. Do as thou wilt. Okay. Unconstrained personal freedom. And a lot of you are unconstrained. The scriptures say what? All right. The scriptures say to keep the commandments. All right, to the best of your ability, and you don't do that. So you're unconstrained. All right, and who did you learn that from? ALEISTER Crowley, Satan. All right, it says stamp down the wretched and the weak. You see that? It says Crowley was excited, though perhaps not surprised to discover he was the Messiah of the new age. Okay, it says he tried to usher in the new age with magic rituals, both private ones, long orgies of sex, okay, drugs and magic, and public ones, mostly famous a rite of Eleusis, which he organized in London in 1910. Okay, all right, so you can read the rest of that. I'm not gonna read it. It says other people were disposable ingredients for his operation, a succession of mentally unstable women, and you're easily deceived, you women. All right, unstable women were cast in his magical sex orgies as the Scarlet Woman. Okay, and who did you see the Scarlet Woman in? Scarlet is a color red. All right, the red dress in the Matrix film. Here, you see that? Scarlet. All right, the scriptures say not to let your sins be as scarlet or something to that effect. Let me look it up. Okay, so here it is, Isaiah chapter 1, and we'll start at verse 18. It says, come now, let us reason together, saith the Lord. Though your sins be as scarlet, all right, which is what? Red. Okay, so what was that in the Matrix? All right, the woman in red dress. All right, and this is you women. Okay, hold on, let me go back and let's look at this. Boom, you turn to Agent Smith. Are you with this system? Okay, you didn't learn to be a slut and a whore from the scriptures. All right, that came from Satan. What else is red? Okay, these people. All right, Esau Edom, red. Now this is not based off skin color. All right, this is based off bloodline. Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18 is about your father. All right, you just better hope that you're somewhere down in your bloodline that your father falls under tribes on that sign. Okay, any one of those tribes. All right, but it be somewhere down your father's bloodline. Other than that, you got hell to pay for. Okay, if you're not on that sign. All right, what they call them rednecks. You know, rednecks. See, rednecks. Look at him, he's red. You know why? Because his blood shows forth through his skin. All right. And what else is synonymous with red? It said crimson. Crimson. All right. Which is red or pinkish. Okay. And what else is synonymous with that? Crime. Crim. C-R-I-M. All right. Crime. See that? Let me look at this. It says an action or omission that constitutes an offense that may be prosecuted. Prosecuted. All right, the scriptures talk about you being prosecuted. All right, you Edomites. It says by the state and is punishable by law. So you got a lot to pay for. All right, illegal activities. Okay, a felon. All right, transgression. You know, what did you transgress? Are you Edomites? Are you transgressed the law? Let's get it. So this is 1 John chapter 3 and verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. All right, and you Edomites, you're criminals. All right, and you're a transgressor. Okay, and you cause an offense, and also you are in violation of the law, and you're a felon. All right, you're a dead man walking, a lawbreaker. That's what you are, man. You see, it's that simple. All right, so let's go here. This is Genesis chapter 4 and verse 15. And the Lord said unto him, therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain. It says, lest any finding him should kill him. All right, so what was that? What was that mark? All right, the lack of pigmentation. That's what that was. Okay, now obviously that all right, the pale skin is usually an indicator. All right, but it's not based off of skin color. This is based off of bloodline. Okay, so and reincarnation does exist. Okay, so it started with what? Satan in the garden, and then it went what? To Cain. All right, and then what we know of now is what? Esau. All right, reincarnated. Okay, so he's the same devil back in the garden. He was Cain, and now he's what? Esau. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, according to the Bible. Not by skin color, but by bloodline, ultimately. All right, because our people are in all nations. Okay, you see? And it's just that simple, man. It's not hard. All right, you got to put the pieces together. All right, which is what? ALEISTER CROWLEY. Okay, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. As the scarlet woman, the women usually ended badly. It says in alcoholism, and that's what's going on to you women right now. A lot of you are drinking in excess. Are you depressed? You're drug addicts. You're madness. Look at that. You're mentally ill because you've been sleeping around all the time. And then said what? Or suicides. A lot of you are deleting yourselves. You know why? Because you followed this devil, Esau, Edom, ALEISTER CROWLEY, the so-called white man. All right, Satan. It says the breeze included his first wife, Rose, who he abandoned along with his daughter, the unfortunately named Nuit Ma Athor Hekat Sopho Jezebel Lilith, who died of typhus in Rangoon. He said he didn't much care morally and mentally. Women were for me beneath contempt. He says he wrote, intellectually, of course, they did not exist. And that's true, actually. Okay, the scriptures talk about that. Let me show you. Let me get it here. This is Job chapter 39 and verse 17. Because the Most High hath deprived her of wisdom. It says, neither hath he imparted to her understanding. All right, so you women don't have wisdom. Okay, you don't have the wisdom. All right, the Lord didn't give you wisdom. That's the reason why the Lord said to keep silence in the churches, and that he permits not a woman to teach. Okay, but to what? Keep in silence. And to what? Be the scriptures in Genesis, it says your desire should be to your husband. All right, he's your leader. He's the head. He's the one you should follow. All right, but what do you say? You don't want to follow him. And then you end up in these situations. Okay, you end up alcoholic, a drug addict, your madness. All right, mentally unstable. All right, and then you lead to your suicide, your death. You see that? It all matches up. All right, morally and mentally. It says women were for me beneath contempt, which means that you don't matter. It says intellectually, of course, they did not exist. And then he said morally, you don't have morals. look at these women in America. All right, you have no morals. You're intellectually, you're not even considered. Okay, that's the reason why the scriptures say that your desire should be towards your husband, because what we have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. We're the head. Okay, you see. It says he was equally cruel to any man foolish enough to follow him. All right, and you people, all right, on earth, all right, you Israelites, all right, are foolish because you're following him and you don't even know it. You see? Man. All right, it says, be afraid of the trap door. It says, I have a very simple model of the human mind. All right, and this is very spiritual. This is in the scriptures, man. It says similar to the one described by Coleridge and Kubala Khan. It says, I've spared no expense with the graphics here. All right, you have a flame. All right, the scriptures say that you're let me see. Let's get it. Here it is. All right, this is it. The scriptures say that man's spirit is like a candle. All right, so it says Proverbs chapter 20. We'll start verse 27. It says the spirit of man is the candle of the Lord, searching all the inward parts. Okay, which is what? A fire. You see that? So you go back, all right, to this article or here. Look at that. There's a treasure. So it says, I have a very it says I spared no expense with the graphics here. So it says imagination, which is how big this is. All right, less conscious / unconscious mind, monsters. All right, which is in the darkness. You got the treasure. It says model of the mind. You see that? It says at the top you have conscious processes, like a weak and flickering flame. It says then you have less conscious or unconscious process, like a mine of coal beneath that flame. Okay, so it says less conscious or unconscious. So the more coal, which is a bunch of BS, all right, that you took here in America, is what blocking your flame. All right, which is what the truth. So you're obscured, all right, by the BS. All right, so it says like a mine of coal beneath that flame. It says connecting the two is the imagination, which run like a mine shaft between the conscious and unconscious levels. Within the mind of the unconscious are treasures, insight, healing, wisdom, knowledge, and power. However, there are some monsters down there too, which means that it's not pure. Okay, all that wisdom, knowledge, healing, insight, power, all the things that you learned in this world that you look at as treasure. All right, what does it say? It says there are some monsters down there, which means that it's not pure. It's not pure. Okay, the scriptures say that his word is pure. Look at this. This is Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 6. It says the words of the Lord are pure words, as silver tried in the furnace of the earth, purified 7 times. Okay, and when you purify a element like gold, silver, what do? You burn off the impurities. Okay, so it's like a treasure. Silver is treasure. It's gold, treasure. Okay, it says thou shalt keep them, O Lord, thou shalt preserve them from this generation forever. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. All right, so there you go. All right, so you looking for treasure in the wrong place. Okay, the treasure is right here, man. Let me look it up. Let's get this. This is Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. You see that? So you have to fear the Lord. How do you fear the Lord? By doing what he told you to do. You see? And that's the treasure. All right? The pure treasure. Okay? Pure. All right? Not corrupt. Black Lives Matter. Feminism. Homosexuality. All right? You're looking for the treasure in the wrong places, man. That's going to lead you to your death. All right? You're a damn demon. You see? It says, you remember the cartoon show, The Trapdoor, from the 1900s? It says, well, the unconscious is a bit like that. It says, as William James suggested, it may be a door not just to our archaic impulses, all right? It says, but also to the spirit world, all right? Which means that these doctrines, all right, that these Edomites and these other nations got out here are traps, all right? What do? They present feminism to you, and what do? You walk through that door and you act upon it, and then guess what? There's demons down there, okay? They hop on you, you know. Eventually, you start, like I said, you'll be an alcoholic, you'll be depressed, okay, mad at the world, bitter, okay, and then eventually, you know, as you get older, you're just gonna delete yourself or delete somebody, okay. So it's a trap, all right. So it says, but also to the spirit world, to both good and bad spirits. So you need to be careful what you let through the trap door. All right, which is what? Your mind. That's what that is. It says the arts of sex, drug, magic, and religions are all ways of turning off the mind. All right, it says going beyond rational consciousness. And that's the reason why you see people bug out here in America. All right, dude bugged out his mind, looking crazy, just going on like people, like there's people, you know, stabbing people to death for no reason, no rant or reason, you know, killing people for no reason, you know, shoot it up, you know, okay, and just abusing and beating and killing a toddler, no reason at all, just doing it, all right, which is what? You're unconscious, because you got a lot of demons on you, you see? So it says opening the trap door and following the imagination down into the dark. All right, the scriptures talk about darkness. This is it. This is John chapter 3 and verse 19. And this is the condemnation that light, all right, which is what the light is, the scriptures, is come into the world. And men love darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil. You see that? All right, it says, for everyone that doeth evil hateth the light. Okay, and whenever we present this word to you and we try to teach you, all right, you Jakes that's out there, all right, you Israelites, what, you hate it. You got something to say about it. Okay, when we tell you to follow Yahweh Bashem Al Shah, which is who you ignorantly call God, Jesus Christ, get out those Christian churches, man, because they don't have it. All right, you women, stop being a whore, stop selling out. All right, you men, all right, get yourselves together, man. All right, and stop killing each other, smoking weed, being a damn nigga, man. All right, committing adultery, sleeping with another man's wife. All right, stop doing that. Okay, that's the light. It says, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved, which means corrected. All right, so you've been deceived, man. It says, but he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, which means what? Is going to reveal itself. Okay, that they are wrought in the Most High. After these things came Yahushua and his disciples into Judea, and that was it. All right, so you get the point. All right, it links up perfectly. All right, I could do multiple lessons on this article alone. It says, but I think, all right, hold on. I got one more thing I want to show you. What else is a trap door? The trap door. Nicki Minaj. Let's look at her video right quick. And I found it right here. This music video. All right, you see this? How the video starts? All right, WAP. Okay, and then what? This is what you women believe in. All right, so they enter the gate. All right, look at that. Sexual perversion. Okay, and they go in this house. All right, water. Okay, what does that water represent? Lies. All right, touched up on this about a year ago. The video is not even on my channel anymore. Okay, Esau Edom deleted it. Okay, that water represents lies. Okay, let's get that. In Revelation, you see this? It says Revelation chapter 12. All right, and we'll start at verse 15. It says, and the serpent cast out of his mouth water. Okay, which is what? Lies, deception. Okay, lesbianism, homosexuality, Black Lives Matter. All right, all these groups that you join. Okay, gun rights movements, all that stuff. It's gonna lead to your death. All right, the only thing that you should be following is this book. All right, the scriptures. Otherwise, serpent, Esau Edom, so-called white man, he's gonna cast out of his mouth his lies, and you're gonna be swept up in it. Okay, as a flood after the woman. And who's that woman? Israel. All right, you Israelites. Let me show you. Let me prove it. Here it is. It's Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 2. It says, I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. Okay, so Israel is likened unto a woman. All right, so that woman that is talking about in Revelation is Israel. Okay, that's Israel right here. It says that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood, which is what? Swept up in his lies. All right, you see, and it says, and the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth. All right, so which means that it's this book, man. All right, the truth, it came out. And then what it says, that the earth opened her mouth. All right, and what it swept up his lies. It says, and swallowed up the flood, which the dragon cast out of his mouth, which is Esau Edom, so-called white man. Now, there was an image about a year ago. It showed Trump, and his head was next to the American flag, like the way it was, the picture was taken, and the American flag was shaped as flames, and Trump's mouth was open, and it looked like a dragon, man, for real. You know, but I don't have it. I haven't took screenshots back then. All right, and it says, and the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High. And that's what you're commanded to do. Keep the commandments. The commandments are not, the commandments, the law is not done away with. Okay, you see that? And have the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach. So Esau Edom does not like it when you keep the commandments of the Most High. All right, he says what? He's going to make war with the remnant, which means he's going to make war with you Israelites. All right, he's not putting this stuff up in your face because it's entertaining or fun for you to watch. They're not trying to entertain you. Okay, they're trying to lead you to your death. All right, so let's check the rest of this out. So here it is, the water. Okay, now they probably gonna copyright me on this. All right, these there are two witches. All right, these demons. All right, so they walking down the hall, and look at all these doors. All right, and these doors represent those doctrines. Okay, look at snakes, serpents. All right, I'm gonna skip on. I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you something right quick. Show you what's in these doors. Okay, look at this. So they're looking at all these doctrines that Esau Edom is pushing out, and they all have women in them. Okay, there's another woman. All right, you're not getting it. Yeah, let's go back. All right, let's go right here. You see these doors? See these women? Okay. All right, let's just say that's lesbianism, homosexuality, another woman. All right, what's the other woman? Okay, Black Lives Matter, all these doctrines. All right, what does the scripture say? Start here. This is Proverbs chapter 23. Was it? Yeah, 23 and verse 33. It says, thine eyes shall behold strange women. All right, which way you're going to look upon it, which is these doctrines. Okay, and it says, and thine heart, which is what your mind, shall utter perverse things. It's okay to be gay. It's okay to smoke weed. All right, it's okay to commit adultery. All right, I'm going to go sleep with that man's wife. All right, you women, this is you. I'm going to go cheat on my man. I ain't going to listen to no man. I ain't going to serve no man. I do what I want to do. That's you uttering perverse things. Okay, let's get another one. All right, this is Proverbs chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou wilt receive my words and hide my commandments with thee, all right, which is what? In your mind. Okay, it says, so that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom. All right, which is what's the wisdom? This book, this knowledge. It says, and apply thine heart, which means apply your mind to what? Understanding. All right, which is this book. Yea, if thou criest after knowledge and liftest up thy voice for understanding. So if you want knowledge, all right, you want understanding, it says, if thou seekest her as silver, which is what? It's going to say it. If thou seekest her as silver and searchest for her as for hidden treasures. Okay, so this is the treasure that you should be looking into. All right, not Nicki Minaj over here. All right, these doctrines, these false doctrines that Esau Edom is putting up in front of your face and you just eating it up. Okay, it talks about it here. You see, and it goes back here. What? The trap door. The trap door. All right, it all connects, man. All right, and these doors are traps. Okay, and these women represents Israel. All right, you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It's you. You just entertaining these demons. Okay, another woman. Yeah, it sounds good. Yeah, the doctrine sounds good. All right, to you. All right, and entices you. You go up in that trap door. All right, you see how these women look, and you women, you men, all right, want that. You see. All right, so you gotta understand, man. All right, these doctrines and stuff that Esau Edom is pushing out here, feminism, homosexuality, all that stuff is traps. Okay, leads right to this article and right over here to the scriptures. All right, which we're gonna finish off. So it says, if thou seekest her as silver and searchest for her as for hid treasures, then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of the Most High. You see? So didn't the scripture say the fear of the Lord is his treasure? All right. So how do you do that? By getting this knowledge. All right. And following it. You see? So it says, for the Lord giveth wisdom. Out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. All right. He says, he layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. And a buckler is a shield that you can attack and defend with at the same time. So when Satan started pushing out these false doctrines, all right, you have the wisdom to what? Protect yourself. Okay? And how do you attack? By having this knowledge, and you're attacking his doctrines. You see? The stuff that he's pushing. Homosexuality, lesbianism, all right? Drug addiction, alcoholic, okay? And all its foolishness, these other religions, okay? That you see right here. All right? That goes into religions too, these women. All right? And what happened at the end? What happened at the end of the video? So they're looking at it. They haven't went in any of these doors yet. All right? This is the elect. Now watch. They're getting out of there. Like, nah, this ain't it. And what the water was following them. Let's go back. See that? The water started to come after them just a little bit. But they got out. They got out the house. See, it's all symbolism, man. These music videos are not for your entertainment, man. They know what they're doing. And they're mocking the Lord, man. That's really what it is. They're mocking you. You Israelites. And they're mocking the Lord. You know, they just serving Satan. Doing what they told to do. Alright? So let's go down. It says, he keepeth the paths of judgment and preserveth the way of his saints. So you're going to be preserved out here. Alright, you're not going to be getting chopped up to pieces, found somewhere, or getting shot and having all these strange calamities happening to you. Alright? It says, then shalt thou understand righteousness and judgment and equity, yea, every good path. When wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee. All right. So the Lord's not going to straight up just allow you to get destroyed out here, man. Okay. Discretion shall preserve thee. You're going to be preserved. You see, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh froward things. All right. And who's the man? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. You see? All right. So let's go down. It says what? It says verse 13, Salakia. It says, who leave the path of uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness. All right. And it's the ways of darkness. It's ALEISTER CROWLEY and the whole nation, really, of Esau, Edom. It says, whose ways are crooked, and they are forward in their paths to deliver thee from the strange woman. And these are strange women, which is what? Doctrines. Okay, because the Lord does not prescribe this stuff. Okay, homosexuality, lesbianism, and all that stuff that this pushed out, that this darn devil is pushing out, is strange because the Lord did not tell you to do that. He didn't tell you to be that. Okay, so who are you listening to? Satan. It's that simple, man. It's not hard. It says what? Which forsaketh. Salakia, it says, verse 16, to deliver thee from the strange woman, even from the stranger which flattereth with her words. Yeah, it sounds good. And that's why those women in those video was what? Sexy. It looks sexy. You see? Got the body and everything. Beautiful skin. You see? Look at that. It's that simple, man. It really is. Like that. And that. Okay? It sounds good. And you follow right into that trap. Next thing you know, you did. It says, which forsaketh. It says, to deliver thee from the strange woman, even from the stranger, which flattereth with her lips, which forsake the guide of her youth. And what's the guide? The ultimate guide is the scriptures. Okay? And it says, and forgetteth the covenant, which is what? An agreement. All right? Which, marriage is an agreement. Okay? When you, all right? And marriage is sex according to the Bible too. Okay? Okay. It says, this gets more into it, the point. It says, if any man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her and give occasion of speech against her and bring up an evil name upon her, which is what, to ruin the reputation, and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid, which means what? A virgin. It says, then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate, which is the blood. It says, and the damsel's father shall say unto the leaders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hateth her. And lo, he hath given occasion of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid. And yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. You see, and they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city. So it was the blood, which is what? An agreement, the covenant. All right. And we're the Lord's woman. Okay. We belong to him. So when you following after these other doctrines, all right, these false doctrines, all right, that the Lord has not told you to do, all right, he hasn't prescribed unto this, and you're doing it anyway, that's like committing adultery against Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, who you Italy call God, Jesus Christ. All right, that's like committing adultery. You're going into these women, or you can even replace it as men. Might as well say that, because the scriptures say that Israel is likened unto a comely and delicate woman. All right, just replace that with a man. It's like you going out there whoring yourself out, all right, to other gods, because that's what that is, other gods. It has nothing to do with the scriptures. All right, so that's the example right there. All right, let's get this. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 14. It says, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolish unto him. So yeah, you know, a lot of you probably not going to believe this. You know, the majority is not going to believe this, and they're going to think that this is a bunch of BS. Okay, you know why? Because they're a natural man. All right, which means what? They're just of the flesh. They're not spiritual minded. Okay, they're of the flesh. All right, which is what the scriptures say. The carnal, to be carnal minded is death, which means to be of the flesh, natural. All right, you got to be spiritual. It says, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolish unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned, which means that you can't even see what's in front of your face. So when you see Black Panther doing this and all these things, you don't see the signs because you're spiritually discerned. Okay? Not realizing all that comes from this darn devil, man. Okay, these Edomites. You don't see the signs. Okay? It shows right here. Alright, see that? That's what Black Panther does, right? There he is. Right there, these devils. Alright, it's just straight up simple. Okay? Alright, you guys should check out this channel, and subscribe to him. Alright, he makes really good content, and he exposed ALEISTER CROWLEY. It's a really good video to watch, but the only thing that he's missing is the knowledge of the scriptures. Alright, and also the spiritual aspects of it. Okay, so it said this video is called The Untold Dark History of the Adult Film Industry, and this is all about ALEISTER CROWLEY. Alright, you can watch this. It's very, very, very informative. Okay, which goes into the porn industry. He pretty much kicked that off, the feminist movement, all right, and changed the way sex is looked at today. Okay, which I'm gonna let you listen to some of it. All right, so let's go ahead and listen to it.
Profitable billion-dollar business. At one point, that wasn't the case. Before the 1970s, owning adult material in your home was considered illegal in the United States. It wasn't until laws were passed in 1969 and 1971 that owning adult-only material became legal. What led to the legalization of the adult industry was a sexual revolution that was taking place in the 1960s. A revolution that was led by the hippie movement and the rise of Playboy magazine.
Which was all set up. All that was orchestrated by the elites. Okay, and this ALEISTER CROWLEY guy, and you all fell for it. Okay, these groups that come out here, like Black Lives Matter and all these other groups, all that is orchestrated. Alright, that stuff is not just a bunch of random people getting together and protesting. That's not it. Okay, that stuff is orchestrated. They control both sides of the spectrum. Okay, you gotta remember, alright, that these Edomites, so-called white man, mainly these elites, they want to be God. Okay, and what does the scripture say about him? See this? Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. And that's exactly what Esau Edom is doing. So when you see these oppositions and you see these two supposed powers coming up against each other, they're pulling strings from both sides. All right, and you average people get wrapped up in it. You don't know what the hell's going on. Okay, that's what it is. All right, this whole empowerment, feminist movement, all that mess was set up by the FBI, the CIA, on down. All that is orchestrated.
60s, sexual liberation was the motto, and how people saw sex started to change, all due to one man, ALEISTER CROWLEY. While Crowley died on December 1st, 1947, his teachings took over the US during the hippie movement and the sexual revolution. What Crowley taught in his religion of Thelema became the core fundamentals of what became the hippie movement, the sexual revolution, and the rise of adult content. The adult film industry we see today is directly connected to ALEISTER CROWLEY and Thelema. Crowley is the reason the adult film industry is so big, and he is also the reason why Satanism has consumed pop culture. In this video, I will present the timeline and connections that prove Crowley inspired the modern adult film industry, and how to this day, his teachings are the principle of the industry that have taken over America. This story goes all the way back to the year 1904 when ALEISTER CROWLEY was visiting Egypt with his new wife to enjoy his honeymoon. While Crowley was in Egypt, he set up a lodge in which he began performing ancient Egyptian invoking rituals. One day, Crowley claims that his wife became possessed by one of these spirits he was trying to invoke. He claims that on March 18th, she told them she was possessed by they, who she explained were the god Horus. And on the 20th of March, she proclaimed that Horus stated, "The equinox of the gods has come." She then led Crowley to a museum to the steel mortuary known as the Stele of Anak, This led Crowley to experience a supernatural experience back on April 8th, where Crowley claimed that he was visited by a spirit called Awis, who was the messenger of Horus. Crowley claims that Awis told him he was chosen to be the prophet of Horus and that he was to bring in the new Aeon called the Aeon of Horus. Over the course of 3 days, Awis then gave him instructions to bring in this new world, and Crowley...
And that new world is the New World Order. And that's what these elites are following under. Alright, the New World Order agenda. Alright, them looked at as gods, them elites, and the rest of the world being slaves. Okay, that's what it's all about. Alright, they got the RFID mark of the beast. Alright, the C-hip that they're trying to implant in everybody. Alright, which shows that you belong to Satan.
Crowley wrote it all down, telling Crowley that do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law, and that it would be the credo of the new age. Crowley later published what Awis told him, calling it the Book of the Law. He then used the teachings of the Book of the Law to create his own religion called the Lema. Crowley taught through his religion that he and his followers were going to usher in the age of Horus, an age where the old Christian religion would be destroyed and replaced with the religion of Horus, an age where the only law was love under will. What Crowley taught his followers was everything that went against God, as his job given to him by Horus was to lead the destruction of Christianity and his followers. Crowley taught all about free will and encouraged his followers to abandon morality. He also taught his followers about gay love, telling his followers that Horus wanted them to embrace it. He told his followers that their way of living was going to become normal in the age of Horus, an age that they were expecting was coming soon. Crowley prophesied that people will abandon God, gay love would become accepted and embraced.
Yeah, you dummies trusted in that. You've been deceived. You know, boo. You know what they say, you've been bamboozled. You see, you don't even know it. Alright, you falling into them darn darkness, them traps. Okay, and now you're about to get destroyed. Alright, you Israelites, and that includes the rest of you people too. Alright, Lord gonna get rid of all of you. Alright, especially you Israelites that fall under this, man. Because you're God's chosen people and this is what you're doing. Alright, Pride Month. Alright, the Lord said pride is the beginning of sin, and then on top of that, he didn't promote homosexuality and lesbianism. Alright, so he's gonna kill you people, man. Alright, the Lord's gonna kill you people. You've been deceived and you just don't get it.
Alongside many other liberating activities. A world where people have forgotten God and have begun...
Alright, and look at this. You see this light around here? Alright, I read the scripture before. It's a light. Okay, we have the light, and this is the false light. Okay, because they think they have the knowledge to be a God. Alright, because they want to be God. Alright, and the all-seeing eye, which means what? He's watching you. The Lord said that he's watching. Alright, let's get it. Alright, see this? This is Amos chapter 9 and verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord God are upon the sinful kingdom, and America is a sinful kingdom. And these other kingdoms too. You know, these other nations. It says, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, which are you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He's not going to wipe all of us out. He said he's going to wipe out 2/3, which goes back to what? Zechariah, the book of Zechariah. 2/3 is going to die. But the 1/3, which is the elect, all right, is the remnant that he's going to save. All right. You see, I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. So the Lord is watching, man. He sees what's going on. All right, it's only a matter of time. Okay.
To worship themselves instead. Through Thelema, Crowley was planning on secretly corrupting the world, and sadly he did. The main thing that Crowley taught through Thelema was sex magic. Sex magic, for those who don't know, is a form of occult magic that takes place during sexual intercourse. A basic understanding of what Crowley taught about sex magic was that while people were engaging in the deed, when they reached the climax, they essentially tap into a higher spiritual realm that would allow whoever is doing the ritual to communicate with deities and to unleash their true will. In Crowley...
You see that? Okay, and you people, you take sex as just something of pleasure. All right, there's a much deeper meaning in the act of sex, man. All right, that's not something that you take lightly. Are you just running around just sleeping with every and anybody? All right, mainly you women. That's who I'm talking about. Okay, the man can have multiple women, but you women are supposed to have one man. All right, and you the head of this. All right, committing adultery. All right, sleeping with a man, a man, a man, a man, a man. That's not in the scriptures, man. And that's the reason why you're mad. All right, your mentality is just pure madness. All right, it's gone. You see? All right, it's a spiritual thing. All right, when a man and a woman lays down together, that's a spiritual contract, man. All right, which is an agreement. Okay, and that also includes the Heavenly Father and His Son. Okay, so if you break that contract, then how can the Lord trust you? Okay, for you women out there, all right, you're breaking the contract, that spiritual contract. All right.
Lodge, he would have a group session in which a woman would have relations with multiple men while others watch and diss stuff to themselves, just like many do when they watch adult films. Crowley's teachings spread all over the world, and it did exactly what he was told it was going to do: corrupt the masses. While Crowley died in 1947, his teachings lived on and went on to change the world forever, all due to his disciples. In the 1940s, a man by the name of Alfred Kinsey, who was a sexologist and founded the Institute of Sex Research, published the Kinsey Reports, which changed the way the world saw sex forever. The Kinsey Reports are what influenced the legalization of the adult film industry and went on to influence the Playboy Company, and it was also even attributed by many as what sparked the sexual revolution in the 1960s. The sexual revolution is what led to the acceptance of adult films and allowed it to evolve into what it became today. What many people don't know is that Alfred Kinsey was a P-word and also a devout follower of Aleister Crowley.
Yeah, and what it meant was a pedophile. Right? All these leaders and these people that you see on screen, these damn Edomites, these so-called white people, they're pedophiles. Pedophiles, murderers, rapists, okay? Drug traffickers, all right? Trafficking children, doing all that. They all behind it, man. Pope Francis is one of them, okay? Just one of them, all right? Now, I'm going to skip on ahead a little bit. I want to show you something, all right? And what this woman said right here, okay, about how much has changed. Okay.
Was now to be used to change how people made love forever.
Who would argue that the 60s marked the end of the good old days, the end of family stability, the end of everything being predictable and comfortable. And that was when divorce went up, and that's when people started to question family life and all of those kinds of things. And that's when sexuality ran amok.
The Kinsey Report
said that's when homosexuality ran amok. All right, and divorce rates skyrocketed. So you all been deceived. All right, and this video came out, and you know, it's only a few. They're still not gonna get it. All right, I'm just give one more scripture and I'll close out. All right. All right, so let's get this. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 39 and verse 24. It says, as his ways were plain unto the holy, so are the stumbling blocks unto the wicked. So if you still don't get this, man, all right, this is just a stumbling block unto you. Yeah, sorry, and unto the holy, it's plain, but unto the wicked, it's a stumbling block. You can't get it. All right, only certain people can understand this. All right, verse 25, for the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for the sinners. All right, so you sinners, evil is about to come to you within due time. All right, a lot of evil is fixing to happen to you. The Lord's going to take you out. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, and Shalom.